books out of the way. All right. Good morning. So it is some random day and some random time and some random space within the universe. And we are going to do an all levels flow today, focusing more on space. That was my voice I just heard. Focusing more on space within the body. Oops. Good morning. There we go. So, and what do I mean by space? Let's not just say space within the body. Let's say space as a concept. So all of our atoms are made of mostly space. So everything is made of space. And how we move and respond and react through space helps us a lot with how we're moving and responding and reacting through life. So, just like any other class that I've taught for the past God knows how long, go ahead and lay down onto your belly, place one arm on top of the other, let your forehead rest onto your arms or onto your hands, whatever's more comfortable, and just take a moment. Bring your legs slightly apart. So at the beginning of most yoga practices, so for those of you who will be continually taking practice at home, even after I am no longer with us, or with you, for every beginning of your practice, there should be some aspect of grounding. So that means taking the legs a little wider apart maybe. Maybe you like to ground while seated, however that works. In my classes, we do it this way because we have the most security and the most connection to the earth this way. So while you are laying down on your belly, maybe turning your feet out, maybe you tucking your feet under, however that might be, adjust your body. So I do a little bit of shifting in my hips, shifting in my belly, shifting in my chest, and my shoulders and my arms. Shift your belly around, shift your body around a little bit until you feel like you are able to lay on the ground without any distractions or difficulty. Once you are laying on the ground, start to take some deep, full breaths. And sometimes with breathing, this is the best way to become aware of space. So you have created this container for your breath. As you inhale, the expansion of the lungs opens up, and now we are taking up space with our breath. And then as we exhale, we're releasing that breath, and the lungs come together a little bit more. They not so much come together, but get smaller. As you're doing this, you might notice that there's a play in your belly as well. So as you inhale, your belly expands, it presses into the ground, and then as you exhale, your belly contracts gently and you release to the floor a little bit more. Think about how many organs are in your torso or in your abdomen. And think about how very important it is that there is space for each of those organs to exist. That when we spend so much of our time crunching our belly forward, collapsing forward, that we end up causing adhesions between these organs, which makes it not as easy for the organs to just move within their own orbits, their own space within your body. Think about how many of these organs have the job of holding or filtering, or something is coming in and something is coming out, and how there has to be space within these organs to allow that to happen. And just bringing your mind to it does enough work right there, right? We can always really go into the anatomical spacing of our body. We can really focus a lot on that. Or we can just kind of bring that pleasant idea into our mind and hope that it affects change in our body at some point. Another option here is to think about the joints of your body. So bring your attention to your knee joints and your elbows and your shoulders and your wrists and your fingers and your toes. And notice how the joints could have space as well. If joints didn't have space, they would just crush into each other. We wouldn't get much mobility. But because we have to have space in the joints, we can have freedom of movement. It's when we lose that space that we start to lose our freedom of movement. So bringing attention to the spacing in the joints. How about the spacing in the spine, the vertebrae of the spine, so that there's a little pillow of space between each, hopefully. Every time, sometimes we lose that. We even have spacers between those bones. Again, just things to think about as you're laying here, kind of focusing on how the ground is supporting you, but how much of your body is in need of support. Go ahead and bend both your knees and start to windshield wiper your legs from side to side. And notice that those legs are moving in space, the space around you. There's a practice in Zen Buddhism where you look at the space within an object, not the object itself. So you look at the space within the bowl. You look at the space within a glass. You look at the space around you. So becoming more aware of space around your body. It's kind of easier to see it because we can't see inside, so we can't see inside our bodies very easily. So instead, we look for it around us. Notice how the legs are moving within space. Are they trying to cut through the air? Are they trying to cut through space? Or are they just kind of moving with the space? And of course, all of this leads to offering space within the mind. Wouldn't it be nice to have a couple moments, even if it's a brief second, where you're free of your constant thoughts? Let's take it through one more time. Come right back into center, extend your legs. And then from here, go ahead and bring the toes together as you press the hands together. Keep the knees wide and draw the hips back towards your heels. And I know you're going to get sick of me saying it, but even here, we're moving through space. And then noticing here where space is located in your body, or it may be where your body is connected to the floor. So is there space between your hips and your heels? Are there spaces between your belly and the floor, your chest and the floor, your head? Take a couple breaths here and see if you can feel the breath moving into your back body. See if you can feel expansion in your back body. And then as you release, can you feel the body getting deeper towards the earth? So can you take up space with that breath, expanding, opening it up, finding the place for the breath to go. And then as you exhale, can you take up space with the body as you draw the body down? And do that one or two more times. And then nice and slow, let's roll forward into hands and knees. The knees are going to come underneath your hips, your hands are going to come underneath your shoulders, and once again, we move through cat-cow. Inhaling, laying the belly draw down, lift your chest, lift your hips, and then exhaling and rounding your spine. So moving between these two positions, inhaling, expansion in the front, exhaling, expansion in the back. Taking our time as we breathe and moving through these breaths slowly, continuously, with patience and with acceptance. Last time. Bring the spine to a neutral position. Let's keep our left hand underneath of our shoulder and bring our right fingertips to the ground in front of us. So there's an outstretch of the arm. And then from here, let's take that left leg back and tuck the toes. Let the toes just rest on the floor. So the body's nice and long here, shoulders to hips. And then as you inhale, we're going to reach this left leg straight up and this right arm by our right ear. You can look down here or slightly forward, whatever feels best for your neck. Hold this position here, finding engagement in your core. So finding strength in the belly to lift the arm and the leg. And then exhale, draw everything back down. Let's do that 4 more times with our breath. Inhale, lift, using the core to help lift you. Exhale, lower. Engaging the belly to lift. Exhaling, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Place the right hand on the ground, left knee to the ground, and we're going to do the same thing to the left. So the left wrist has time to rotate. We're going to kick that right leg back, toes tucked. Left arm comes forward, right arm under the shoulder. As you inhale, the right leg comes up, the left arm comes up, and we're going to hold this one first, trying not to drop the belly, but instead engaging the core and keeping the hips level. Good. Hold here for a breath. And let's do this 4 more times. Exhale, tap the fingers and the toes. Inhale, lift right back up. Exhale with a tap. Inhale with a lift. Exhale with a tap. Inhale with a lift. Last one. Exhale with a tap. Inhale with a lift. And then exhale, lower everything down. Draw back into child's pose. Rotate the right and left wrist for a moment. Give yourself a break. Remember, we want space in the wrist, so we don't want everything to just drop in there. And then let's go ahead and come back to hands and knees. Walk the arms forward from your shoulders, tuck your toes underneath, and come into down dog. Lifting your hips as high as you can, reach your heels to the sky, shake out your head, look back at your feet. Feet are about hip distance apart here. If they need to be wider for the first down dog, go for it. Shake out your head, and then start to walk out your dog. Bend one knee as the opposite heel draws down, and then switch. Take your time to breathe. Let there be expansion in the back. Let there be length in the legs. Soften your neck and your jaw. Make sure the heels go directly back, not rolling in. Last one. Beautiful. Let's keep walking our feet as we walk them forward towards our hands. Moving across the mat. Pressing into the mat with the hands. Come all the way to the front. Go ahead and locate your blocks if you're using them. Place them next to your feet. Make sure the feet are hip distance apart. So again, this much space between your feet. So the 2 fists, and then come all the way up, all the way to the sky. Slight back bend here. Take a little bit of a stretch. Create space. And then exhale, take it all the way down, forward fold, shaking out your head, softening your neck and your jaw. Bend your knees here so that your lower back gets length. Let your head hang. And then inhale, press through your feet again, rise all the way up, reach the arms overhead, take a slight back bend, and then exhale, come all the way back down. Forward fold, big strong breath. Last one like that. Inhale, press through your feet, rise up, reach the arms back, big stretch, and then exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. As you inhale, step the right leg back, pressing the hands into your blocks or the floor, and find that nice deep lunge. Press back through your right heel, let your left knee come forward, shoulder blades back. Find space in the chest, space in the neck. Keep breathing. As you inhale, step your left leg back, come into a plank posture. Press the heels back, hands under the shoulders, core engaged. And then as you exhale, lower just your knees to the floor, pull the belly in, and then exhale more and lower your chin and your chest towards the ground. Inhale, lift your heart, roll your shoulder blades back, open space. Exhale, down dog, drawing back. Pull the ribs in a little bit here, find some space here. Shake out your head, soften your neck and your jaw. On your next inhalation, let's step the right foot forward. However you get there is fine. Carry it in whatever manner you need to. Right knee over your ankle, left heel pushes back, chest opens. You can be on your fingertips here if you'd like. And then exhale, press through that right foot, carry the left foot forward, forward fold, big stretch in the back body, shifting that weight forward towards the balls of the feet. Inhale, come all the way up, take a slight back bend, big stretch to the front body. Exhale, take it all the way down, forward fold. Just breathing here. Inhale, hands to shins this time, lengthen the top of the head forward. Exhale, forward fold. Next inhalation, right leg's going to come back once again. We're going to lower this right knee to the floor, untuck the toes. Left knee's going to stay over the ankle, left hips are nice and far back, and your right knee's well behind your buttocks. Let's sweep the arms up, look for space in the front body. Give yourself time to get into these postures. We're here for a little bit. I'd like you to explore what's going on in your body. Are you straightening your left leg because you're having a hard time with the hips? Is there strength issues here? Is it just that the body's tired? Is it just that the body's tight? Or is there something else? Lower the hands down to the ground, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, find a big deep stretch in that right leg, and then as you inhale, step your left leg back. This time, if you want to, you can chaturanga, or you can do that knees, chin, chest. Lowering down nice and slow, inhaling, lifting the heart, really coming up to the tops of the feet if you can. I know feet isn't the word. And then down dog, draw it all the way back. Good. When you're ready, let's take that right foot forward. Bring it in between your hands. Press back through your left heel. Lower the left knee down to the ground. Untuck the toes. Right knee's over your ankle. Lifting through the center of the chest. Letting the hips draw down. And then sweeping the arms up, finding that big stretch in the body. Opening up to whatever it is. Learning about the body. Where are we? Do we need to reset? Can we reset? Is the right arm forward and the left arm back? Let's keep the arms even here, right? Let's have them all in line. One more breath. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Big stretch through the front of the body. And then let's take another inhale and step back again into our plank. Good. Lower down the way you want to. Knees, chin, chest, halfway, whatever works for you. And then draw it all the way back to down dog. Shake out your head, soften your neck and your jaw. Move the heels back. Sometimes it doesn't take many transitions between up dog, planks, down dogs to get a little bit more space in the back of the leg. So see what happens if you are using your blocks. What happens if you come down onto the hands? If that's still not a thing, if you're still feeling pretty tight, then go ahead and keep using the blocks. Or roll up your mat and give yourself a little extra space under your wrist, but maybe not as much as the block, or even a blanket. Awesome. So from this down dog, we're going to do a kind of variation of a split push-up. It sounds awful because it just sounds awful. You're going to lift your heels as high as you can and lift your right leg really high. Then from here, we're going to pull the right knee into our belly, and we're going to start to bring this right leg under the left side of our body. You can flex the foot here or point. You're going to lean forward into a split plank. So my left foot's up, my right leg's in front of me. Then from here, we're going to lower down, and we're going to push it right back up and draw that right leg back up to the sky. Let's try it on the left. See how we feel on this side. So the left leg comes up. Pull the left knee in with an exhale. Start to carry that left leg away from you under your right. You're going to have to slide the foot, right? So slide the foot, lower, lift, come right back up again. Nice. Take that left foot down. Can we do it one more time on each side? It is so hot in the studio today. It is so hot. Okay, right leg comes up. And then pull your knee in. Carry it under your body. You're in variation of plank here. Drop down, lift back up, pull that right leg to the sky. Take it back down. Let's try it to the left. Same thing. Left leg up. Left knee pulls in. Left leg comes under. You can just hang out here. I don't care. And then lower as far as you can go. Push up. and draw that left leg back up again. Lower the left foot down. Let's get off of those hands. So take a big deep stretch with that right leg to the sky and step it forward. Good. So you're in a high lunge here, or you're gonna drop your knee if you feel like you need the little break, or if you just feel like that's what your practice is today. Lift the arms up. Find a high lunge, pull your belly button to your spine. Let's go ahead and grab that left wrist and pull gently to the right. Push back through your left heel. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, take it to a twist. So you have two options. Left hand to the outside of the right knee, right arm comes back. Or left elbow to the outside of the right knee, right hand on top of left. Push back through your left heel with the knees lifted. Hold here for one more breath. Beautiful. Come back through center. Take that left hand to the floor, right hand to your right thigh. We've done this before. It's not super fun, but it is super interesting. So if your knee has been down this whole time, you might even keep it down for this. The modification for a side plank is to have the knee down. So what it would look like with the knee down is you would step back and try this. For those of you who have the knee up, you're going to go straight through that side plank. So you're going to roll to the outside of the left foot. Carry that right leg back. You can stack or stagger or lift. Take the right hand to the floor, right foot to the floor. Everyone with your knees on the ground, lift them. And then if you want to replace your knees, you can. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down dog. All right. Big deep breaths. Child's pose here if you want to. Lots of water if you need it. Stay breathing. When you teach yoga, you get used to drinking water in down dogs. All right, let's look for that left leg. Left leg's gonna come up. So join us in down dog, lift your left leg wherever you want to, and then carry it forward. We're finding a high lunge first. The right knee can be lifted, or it can be on the floor. Arms come up. Whew. Find that lunge. Pull the belly button towards the spine. Lift through your pelvic floor if you can. Grab that right wrist, take up space on the left. Pull to the left. To the left, to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Big stretch. Exhale, let's take it to the twist. Remember this one or this guy. Push back through your heel. Big breath. Couple more breaths here. Remember how we were talking about the space in the abdomen. Don't crunch it. Try to increase some space for those organs to float around. Go ahead and place that right hand on the floor. Knee down. You're going to turn. Come into that side plank with the knee on the floor. Knee up. Same thing. Left arm up, shoulders down. Stepping back. Step, stagger, hold. You can lift the leg if you want to. I know some of you guys like that fancy stuff. Stay with it. Keep breathing. Use that side waist. Exhale, lower the left hand. For those of you with your knees on the ground, lift them for a moment. Replace them if you need to, and lower. Lift. Down dog. Big stretch. Child's pose if you need it, right? Water break when you need them. Big, deep opening space. Back of the body, front of the body. Everything's trying to just find its place in your body. Let's take one more breath, just like this, wherever you are, child's pose or in down dog. And then we're going to lift this right leg. So join us in down dog if you're not here. Lift the right leg. Carry that right foot forward. And then spin your left heel to the ground. and come into warrior two. Right knee over your ankle. Whew. It's a lot of hair on my head. Hold here. Let that right knee stay over top of the ankle. Find your deep, full breaths. One more breath here. Go ahead and start to straighten your right leg. Reach your right arm to the sky, your left arm by your left hip. I'm almost there with you, I apologize. And we're gonna take this into a triangle. Just gotta get that off of my neck. Okay, taking it into a triangle. Engage your right thigh. So I like triangle for the expression of space the most, out of probably almost all of the poses we do, because you can really feel how you want to collapse and take up space here. So instead, I want you to try and elongate, create more space from the armpit to the hip, more space from the armpit to the hip, more space from the chest to the pelvis, and from the neck to the tail. Even in the legs, increasing space, even though we're engaging muscular structure. Increasing space, even though we're engaging muscular structure. The arms enter into a big open space. We can press the right big toe to the left pinky toe to navigate this pose. And then you have all of this space around you. You have the triangles created in space, right? And there's a lot more than I just pointed out. So holding here, and maybe not pushing down really hard into this right hand. Maybe we use a little bit more muscular structure to hold us up than just pushing into the earth. I know it's a long hold for triangle, but I really want you to take some time to navigate the space that's available here. And let's go right back into warrior two. Bend your right knee, bring your arms out to the side, look for strength here. Good, really just trying to find that knee over the ankle. Let's straighten the right leg, and we're going to walk both feet so the toes face forward. So both feet facing forward. And then from here, we're gonna draw the heels in. So spinning the heels in. So your toes are facing out. The reason we want the toes facing out is because that is the direction in which the knees go. So if you're like me and you're tired of listening to me talk, but also tired of holding poses, you might feel comfortable to know why we do some of these things. Then from this position, we're going to bend the knees and we're going to sit down. How far down? Maybe the hips can come in line with the knees. So this is that goddess pose. Let's bring the arms forward. Roll the shoulders back and open the arms wide. Take up space. Bend the elbows. Hold here. Strong breath. Try not to sit back into the buttocks as much. So sometimes we have a tendency to kind of lean, or we have a tendency to come forward. Think of opening up from the top of the head to the pelvic floor. Side bodies are long. Take that right hand to your right thigh, reach your left arm up, and maybe stretch it by your ear. Take it right back into center. I know it's a long time to be here. Take that left arm to your right, to your left knee, and reach through your right arm. Don't lean back as much. Come back into center. Press through your feet, rise all the way up. Keep the left foot turned out. Spin the right heel away, and bend your left knee. Find your breath here. Space in your warrior poses as well. Think of all these organs. We want to give them room to slide and glide and move. We don't want them to get fused together and make us have compressive organs and then have issues with digestion or circulation. Go ahead and straighten your left leg. I'm going to use my block for this because, again, I'm a big fan of space. Right hand back, left arm up. Find that space. And then engage that thigh muscle as you draw yourself into a triangle. Good. Move that hip away from the armpit. Find the space in the side waist on each side. Find the space in the front and the back body. Long legs taking up space. Engage thigh muscles to help protect knees and ankles. Engage legs taking up space. Really reaching through those arms. Maybe not as much weight on the wrist here, because again, space in the wrist. Staying with it, nice slow inhales and exhales. One more breath here. Awesome. Bend that left knee, come through warrior two. Go ahead and turn both feet to face forward, and then turn both feet to face out. Sitting down into, whoops, I misspelled backwards. Sitting down into that goddess pose. You can drop down whatever way you want. We're gonna turn this into a Tai Chi thing, but we're gonna take it to horse stance. So your hands are gonna wrap around the inner thighs, which means your shoulders are gonna naturally come up a little bit because you're compressing here a little bit. And then from this position, we're gonna draw the right shoulder forward and look over the left, pressing into this right thigh with our right hand. Then we'll come right back through center and do the same thing to the left. So rolling the left shoulder forward and looking over the right. Come back into center again. Start to straighten the legs. Turn both feet to face forward. Come from the hips. So take up space through the front of your body and through the front area of your space of the world, and bring your hands down. Bring yourself into that wide leg forward fold, finding your breath. Maybe taking your headstands from here if you'd like, or your handstands. Shifting that weight forward. Staying with every inhale and exhale. Even the ones that don't feel like they're coming. Last breath. Doing great. You stay down. I'm just staying up so that you can hear my voice. All right, let's make our way over to the right again. So walk all the way over towards that right leg. On your way over, transition into a lunge. Bend that right knee. Bring the hands on each side of the foot. Yes, step back into plank. Exhale as you lower. Inhale as you lift. Open up. And down dog. All right, so this was a lot of work. Hopefully that forward fold gave you a little bit of a reprieve. If it didn't, take a child's pose. If you need water, take water. We're gonna do that split plank push-up thing again. So when you're ready, I'll give you a couple more breaths here. Reset, readjust, re-express what needs to be done. All right, are we ready? Let's take it to the left. So the left leg's going to come up. The left leg's gonna come in. We're gonna kick it out away from us. Shift to plank. You might need to do a little wiggle wiggle. Move that left leg away. And then draw down, come as close to the ground as you can, and then push it right back up. Take that left leg back up to the sky, big stretch, and lower that left leg to the ground. All the way to the right this time. Right leg comes up, pull it in, carry that right leg away from you, come down as low as you can, push it right back up, and then carry that right leg back up again. Lower the right leg down, take the left leg forward in between your hands. Come into a high lunge or a low lunge, reach the arms overhead. Grab the right wrist, pull gently to the left. Release the hands, take them down to the mat. Lift your back knee if it was up, if it was down. Step your right foot forward about a foot. Then from here, come all the way to standing. So if we can, we have a couple different alignments here. You can have your feet hip distance apart, right? Between the feet. Or your right heel can line up with your left heel. Depending on your balance, right? The right heel lining up with the left heel is going to be a little bit more need of balance. So hot in the studio. Bend the left knee, bring it over your ankle. So if you notice that your knee easily goes past your ankle, you need to take this wider. I am giving you rough estimates of space and time. So the left knee's over the ankle. Right toes are facing towards your right shoulder. And we are actually pulling up and in through the pelvic floor, through the lower belly, and lifting the center of the chest. Your right hip and left hip are level. So you're asking for a lot in that back ankle, for those of you who are feeling it there. Reach your arms up, take your warrior one. Lots of space. Front of the body, back of the body, everything. Awesome. Take one more breath. And then we're going to exhale and start to bring that body forward over that left thigh. And then we're going to inhale and lift right back up, knee over ankle. 3 more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. 2 more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. 1 more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Let's take it down and hold. Sweep the arms back, lift your back heel, and right leg comes up. Whoop. Standing stick pose. Toes pointed down, ankle in line with the hip, hips level. Pull that right knee into your chest. Reach the arms to the sky. Hold here. Just look for balance. And then lower the right leg. Good. Let's do it all again, but this time the left leg will be back. So this time that left leg is going to step back. Remember that it's up to you. You know what to look for here. We just went over it. Your left toes are facing your left shoulder. Your right toes are facing forward. The right knee should easily be over the ankle. Not easily, but without much stress. And then from here, reach your arms overhead. So you're coming into a level position for your hips. Your hips are level. Don't just ignore what I'm doing because I have to get this hair off of my neck. Okay. So right knee over your ankle, core is engaged, finding strength here. All right, let's lean forward. Lean forward, press back up. 3 more. Lean forward, keep your heel down. Press back up. 2 more. Lean forward, all that space, and taking it back up. Last one. Heel down. Beautiful, come forward, reach the arms back. Ready? Press through that right foot, lift that left leg. Flex the foot so the toes point down, keep your left and right hip level. Hold here. 1 more breath. Press through that right foot, carry that left knee in. You're looking for holding that balance. One more breath. Lower that left foot down. Nice job. Deep breath in, reach the arms up. Deep breath out, bring the arms down. Place the hands to the lower back, lift the center of your chest. Release the arms down by the side, left arm stays down, right arm comes up, lean to the left. Inhale, come back to center, lower that right arm with the next hand. Inhale, left arm up, exhale, lean to the right. Inhale as you come back to center, exhale, lower the arms down. Find a way to keep removing all lower thoracic hair and bring the body into alignment. Shoulders over hips, hips over ankles, ankles over, or knees over ankles. 1 more breath. Roll the shoulders. All right, we're going to transition our way into the ground. So bring the arms forward for counterbalance. Go ahead and start to bend your knees. Maybe you'll lift your heels here. Come down as slowly as you can. Hold here. Do you think we can come up to standing 1 more time, just because that's fun? Let's give it a try. Lift up, lower the heels, reach. Exhale, lower down, this time we're gonna hold it here. And then we're gonna make our way to our buttocks. You can do this as ceremoniously as you want, or you can just plop, which I did. Okay, so I'm gonna turn to face you. That doesn't mean you have to face me. Doesn't mean you have to change on your mat at all. Once you are sitting, find yourself in a cross-leg position. We're going to move through cat-cow from a seated position, so taking our time here, hands come to the knees. We'll inhale, lift the center of the body, bringing the chest up and bringing the belly forward slightly. And then exhale, round the spine, bring your chin to your chest, look towards your pelvis. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Beautiful. Bring your spine to a neutral position. Top of the head lifts, tailbone draws down, and looking for that right hand, we're going to reach the arm out to the side. First, let's press gently on the left thigh, not on the knee, okay? So very rarely will you ever hear me tell you to do anything with pressure against the knee. I can't think of an option right now, but I don't want to say never. Place your hand onto your thigh so that you can draw the hip down a little bit, so you can create kind of like an external rotation in the leg. Yeah, that's all. So when I do this, or you do this, or anyone does this, we create more space in our left side, and specifically in our left hip. Drawing that left shoulder down if we want. And then from here, we can keep the right hand on the floor, walk it away a little more, maybe a little more pressure. And then maybe we want to start to lift that left arm first away, like we're about to give somebody a big hug. That's a weird hug. Or you could start to reach the arm by the ear. Notice that my shoulder tried to go up there. I'd like you to draw your shoulder back. Stretch through your fingertips, draw down through the hip. Really reach. Take your time, just breathe. What happens if we bend the left elbow, place the hand behind the head, and bring the head back? What happens if we turn towards the elbow? Still dropping that hip. Then reach the arm up. Let's do it on the other side. So coming all the way up, finding our stillness, finding our moment, finding our breath, finding our breath. Let's try it on the other side. So this time the left arm is going to come out to the side. And we're going to start to press that right thigh down. Space here, right? Space here too, but we want to really draw this hip down. If you're wearing shorts, it can feel a little uncomfortable to push onto your flesh. You can put a blanket over your leg if you want. I'm just holding here, just trying to give ourselves some space. And then from here, let's reach that left arm up. And then maybe reach it by the ear. I was listening to a Kabbalah training, and in it they were talking about how respect is giving people space, and love is trying to bring people to you. Right? So it's coming into somebody's space. Not that that's a bad thing, obviously, love is wonderful, but that respect is giving people the space they desire. So you can both love and respect somebody in two different ways. Take that right hand behind your head, turn your head, shoulders down. Which makes sense, because when you're really respecting somebody, you're listening to them, you're giving them space to speak, space to express themselves. And you're doing that active listening. Reach that left arm up, come all the way back into center, place your hands onto your thighs. Let's try and just roll the thighs down and roll the shoulder blades back. Beautiful. Then from here, we're going to extend the left leg forward. So just the left leg. If you can, try and keep that right heel in touch with the pelvis or the root of the leg. And then flex your left foot. So we're keeping an active leg. We're keeping an active leg for space. We're keeping an active leg for purpose. We're imagining we're standing on this leg. And then from here, the hands are going to come to each side of the leg, maybe about shoulder width or a little wider. Where are we on time? Awesome. Lift the center of your chest, roll your shoulders down. And then as you exhale, start to bring the body forward. You can walk the hands forward wherever you want to go. You can keep your hands on the floor and really focus on creating as much length in the spine, so space between the vertebrae, in the front and the back and the sides, or space in the front of the body, letting those organs just swim around where they need to be. And again, that's not what your organs do. It's just a mental picture that I had in my head that came out of my mouth. And then, or you can, if that's more comfortable for you, or if it feels like it's what's needed, right? Because you're listening to yourself, not the random person on the screen, you can bring the body down. But don't bring the body down and negate all of the work you're doing today in creating space. So breathing here, letting everything be where it needs to be, wherever that needs to be, and knowing it's okay. How about your side body? Can you create more space there? Can you create more space in your neck from the shoulder to the ear? Let's be here for maybe another breath. Wherever you go is fine, but you're there. And then let's walk our hands back. Yeah. All right, so before we come into the forward fold on the other side, let's take our left hand, place it to the outside of our right knee, right hand behind us, and just give ourselves a little bit of a twist. So you're just kind of rotating the abdomen a little bit. Like, hey, organs, we just gave you all this room to play. Now we're just gonna move them around a little bit. Not much. Then come back at the center. All right, so let's switch. This time the right leg comes out, flex the foot, and the left heel comes close to the start of your leg or the top of your leg or into your pelvis. And then from here, make sure the sits bones are down, hands on each side of that left leg, lift the chest, turn the chest, and maybe the navel towards the foot. Flex the foot. Find a breath here. Remember, space, 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 space. Okay? And then from this position, start to lean the body down. Take your time. You might notice the side is tighter, it might be looser, it might be better, it might be worse. Honestly, there's no good or bad here, it's just what it is. Maybe you're coming down deeper and deeper into this fold. Maybe you're letting your body just kind of navigate the fold for you. Reaching through the top of the head. Now I'm looking up so you can see my face, but in reality, you should be staring at the center of my head. My chin should be slightly tilted here. Space in the neck. Don't roll those shoulders up. Space in the body. Just take a couple more here, really just letting go. And then nice and slow, walk yourself back up. Let's take our happy little twist. So the right hand to the outside of the left knee, left hand behind you, and twisting. And then we'll come right back into center. Beautiful. Go ahead and extend both your legs, and for those of you who are facing a different direction, let's face towards the edge of the mat. So the head's towards me, and the feet are towards the edge of the mat, or however you're setting up. You're gonna come down into your Shavasana. So coming down in whatever way feels best for you. All right, so before we move into final Shavasana, we'll do a little mini Shavasana. So you're gonna let the arms rest down by your sides, and I'd like you to take a moment to connect with all of the variable places in your body, just for a moment before we do one last little guide, one last little thing. All right, So you're welcome to add on another twist if you want to. We did do one from seated. I'm going to ask you to do happy baby first. So let's go ahead and pull the knees in towards your chest. First, let's rock a little bit from side to side to make sure that lower back is feeling it. All right, it's feeling all right. And then let's go ahead and bring stillness into the hips, but we're gonna make circles with the knees. Now, a lot of times people get confused with this, so I'm gonna do it so you can see. We're gonna draw the knees in, and then draw both knees apart, and then roll the knees away, giving a little bit of traction to our wrists and shoulders, and then pull the knees back in again. So you're making individual circles with our knees. So if you've never seen somebody do this before, this is what it looks like. It's just a big old circles. That's all it is. And I like this, as I said, because I like the idea that you're actually adding a little bit of traction to those shoulders and wrists and elbows, just a little bit. You're not trying to pull them out of sockets, right? And then a little bit of space there. Did you know that in Chinese medicine, those joints are known as the spiritual gates of the body? I can't parallel park a car, but I know all kinds of random things about this type of stuff. Just random. All right, coming back in. Let's reverse. So now the knees are together and moving away. Then they're gonna roll out and in from the hips. Take your time. Let's do one more. Let's draw those knees in towards our armpit area, so towards the undersides of the arms, and flex the feet. Now for some people, we'll just place the hands on the insides of the knees and let the soles of the feet face up. And for some of us, we can grab the ankles. And some people can grab the bottoms of the feet. But more important, I don't want you to be here. This doesn't do much of anything for anyone. Instead, draw your tailbone down. Find your shoulder blades, bring them down. Look for some space in your hips. And just take some deep breaths. Breathe into the space between your hip points. Breathe into the belly, into the back, into the hips. Awesome. Go ahead and start to bring the legs together. Bring the knees together. Maybe roll the head from side to side. And then let's go ahead and extend the legs onto the ground. Give a big deep stretch. Arms overhead, legs nice and long. Really finding some space in the front and the back body, even in the side bodies. And then let the arms rest down by your sides so your palms face up and your toes turn out if that's comfortable for your toes. And then let the belly be nice and soft, right? So we have a tendency to harden the belly when we lay down. Soften the belly. You're gonna stay on the ground, maybe roll your head from side to side, relax your jaw, soften your tongue. I'm just gonna come to seated so I can talk to you. So as you let your body rest on the ground, once again, you're allowing the support of the floor to hold you. Softening and letting go. Feeling the weight of your body shifting towards the floor. And then becoming very, very aware of the spaces within the connection of the body to the ground. Maybe the space behind your neck. Maybe there's space somewhere underneath your spine, your lower back. Maybe there's space under the ankles or knees. And then the space around you. The air around you. And then as you breathe, see if you can bring more space or take up that space with your breath, expanding the body, navigating, exploring. And as you exhale, see if the body will relax deeper towards the floor. Notice the boundaries of the body. If you have a tendency to knock into things easily or find bruises where you didn't even know they came from, and there's no medical reasoning here, it might be that you're just not aware where the boundaries of the body remain. So knowing how you move through space, navigating the space. See if you can watch the breath slow as you let go. If you can feel a rise and fall of your belly, of movement in the ribs and the top of the chest. If there are places that the breath doesn't seem to want to move to, if you can bring attention there, if you can bring space there, something for the breath to move into. And then when you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Slowly pull your knees into your chest and roll over onto your right side. Press your left hand into the floor and bring your hands to your lap in some manner that feels best for you, wherever it works, or maybe even together at your chest. And continue your breath slow and steady and full. Maybe just following and watching the breath. Maybe there's a gentle pause at the top of your inhale or at the bottom of your exhale. Maybe there isn't. Maybe as you're just watching the breath, you have a moment of space or freedom from the thoughts that constantly run through your mind, from your distractions. Maybe bringing the hands together in front of the heart. You're welcome to stay here as long as you need. Thank you so much for coming today. Have a really beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.